Can you imagine getting anything in the world that you wanted? I can sure think of a long list of things that I would like to have. Well, there was such a person who could have anything his heart desired, and this man was King Solomon. He was said to have been one of the richest men that have ever lived. One day, he decided that life was too short and that he would enjoy himself. So he drank lots of wine, built himself some homes, hired many servants to do his work for him, raised livestock, planted gardens and vineyards, and piled up money in his bank account, something that I wish I could do a lot more of myself. So I guess you could say that he had done it all. Then he sat back to think about all that he had done and how he had worked in doing it. And he realized that all the houses he had built, all the wine that he had drank, all the servants that he had worked for him, all the livestock that he had raised, and all the money he had didn't mean a thing. It was all like chasing the wind of no use at all. And we all know that you can't chase the wind, you can't catch it because you can't hold it. It was like chasing the wind of no use at all. Now to some, this kind of pessimistic doubt or attitude may seem out of place in the Bible, as with the story of King Solomon and how he looked back at all the positive, seemingly positive things he had done, and he said it's completely worthless. It didn't mean a thing. Now, this type of attitude may seem out of place in the Bible, but other things like this are found in the book of Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament. Now, the book of Ecclesiastes contains the thoughts and the story of King Solomon, the philosopher, a man who reflected deeply on how short and contradictory human life actually is, with its mysterious injustices and frustrations, and concluded that life is useless. Yet, in spite of this, he advised God's people to work hard and enjoy the gifts that God has given us as long as we can. Now, many of the philosopher's thoughts appear negative and even depressing, but the fact that this book is in the Bible shows that biblical faith is broad enough to take into account such pessimism and doubt. Many have taken comfort in seeing themselves in the mirror of Ecclesiastes and have discovered that the same Bible which reflects these thoughts, negative and positive, also offers hope in God that gives us and our life a greater meaning. So the same book that can mention, all the negative things as life being useless and we will grow old eventually, also can mention the positive things that we have if we live a good life, a future with Jesus Christ in heaven. But the philosopher King Solomon was wise, and he kept on teaching the people what he knew. He studied Proverbs and honestly tested their truths. The philosopher tried comforting words, but the words that he spoke were honest. He said the sayings of wise men are like the sharp sticks that shepherds use to guide sheep, and collected proverbs are as lasting as firmly driven nails. Now, if we go back and reflect on what the philosopher said, sharp sticks the shepherds use to guide the sheep. Wise sayings are like sharp sticks, where as the sheep are prodded with the sharp sticks, they stay in line, just as we can read these things in the Bible and we will stay in line with the life Christ wants us to lead. Now, also, Proverbs are as lasting as firmly driven nails. Once a nail is driven in, it usually is firmly in there, it stays. Now, all these wise sayings are given to us by God, who is the one shepherd of us all, who guides us as sheep. So I guess the message is clear. We should have reverence for God and obey his commandments